All right, so this is a video about parabolas and quadratic equations. It says, so it's either we're given the parabola, write it in vertex form, or we're given vertex form and we need to draw a sketch of the parabola. So this time we're given the parabola, and it says write it in vertex form, meaning we really only need one important part, which is the vertex, which on number 1 is right there. And again, if I'm looking at the vertex, that's at 0, -5. Okay. And I know that the standard form, or the vertex form of a quadratic equation is ax minus h squared plus k. And of course for the vertex, it's h comma k, or x comma y. But we use that for purposes there. The way I like to think about it is, whatever number x is, it's the opposite. Because remember when we're solving, like if I had a quadratic and we factored and we had x minus 2, x plus 3, like, wouldn't we solve each parenthesis by going x minus 2 equals 0 and so on? We'd add 2, and x actually equals 2. So it's really the opposite of what's inside the parentheses. So if x is 0 here, that means in vertex form it would be x, well, I mean 0 is an awkward example, so it could be plus 0 or minus 0, but 0 really doesn't have a positive or negative sign. Okay? But the k part is just the y part, so just -5, so we put -5 there. Okay, and I mean, you really don't even have to have the plus 0 with x. If you just wrote x squared minus 5, same thing, right? Because essentially I don't even have the 0 and it doesn't affect x at all, because 0 doesn't make any change. Okay, the last part I need to figure out is a. Now, in this equation, it'd be really difficult unless you made like a table and actually figured it out what it was. I mean, but looking at this one, it looks like a pretty standard parabola. What's most concerning, especially if you're given a problem like this, do you recognize A is positive or negative? So looking at this picture, do you see A is going up or down? It's going up, meaning A should be positive, so it should be a positive 1 in front of x squared, or positive 1 right here. But really, do I have to write ones? No, I don't. So that would be true vertex form, but this would be also correct if you wrote it either way. Okay, number 2 makes it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so my vertex for number 2 is here, and the vertex is at, if I'm not mistaken, 0, 2. Okay, if I were to write the vertex, again, it would be the opposite of x. So x, I'll say minus 0, but 0 doesn't matter. And then I put plus 2 on the back end. And again, I could write it like this because 0 doesn't make a difference. And I see it's going up. So again, it would be positive 1. But at the same time, we don't have to write positive 1. So very quick, kind of easy way to look at this, especially if you're only given, it just says write in vertex form. The most important thing to find is the vertex. And once you find the vertex, just do the opposite for x and then write down y down beside it. So there you go.